benvenuti.
Hi, I'm at my favorite happy place. It's raining out today, but my sunshine is here. Betty Soldi.
Buongiorno,
I feel like
buongiornissimo.
Oprah. Betty Soldi. My Oprah. Anyway, Betty is a magical creature. She has done all the branding for La Fortezza.
È vero.
So one of our first projects together is I had her do the coat of arms. She wrote on the top of Italy is my boyfriend. A memoir is her writing. Of course, she did our wine labels. We needed new wine labels. Betty did some writing at La Fortezza, actually in the spaces. That's how I know Betty. So Betty, if you could tell us a little bit about the space that we're in, sort of how you found it, how long you've been here. I'm going to let her explain her philosophy about writing and words and calligraphy. And
So it's a tall and narrow space. There's only one wall and then these amazing windows that face out to this private garden that's getting all lush and practically fluorescent green right now, but it will burst into flower very soon. This is a limonaia. It's a greenhouse for storing lemons from 1801. And for me, whenever I work, I sometimes choose this table or that table, depending on the mood. But I know that I have my story and my history behind me. So these are all things that I've collected. They're my influences, my inspirations, samples of some work, things I love. They are behind me, they sustain me, they support me. And in front of me, I have inspiration. I have butterflies that want to fly in, say hi, and leave again. And what I love about a garden, working in an amazing magical garden, is how you're called to notice all the time. Every time you walk in, a leaf has changed, a flower has bloomed. As an artist, that's our duty, is to notice these things.
Betty is an inspiration to me. She really looks at every single little detail and her brain functions in a completely different way. She's very unique and alien, as it were.
Yeah, I always feel, especially because I'm a wordsmith, I feel like I have a highlighter pen in my head. I go through life and then I highlight things that I love, that I see, that I want to remember. That's how I feel that I go through life.
Wow, interesting.
I have this trait that I've developed over the last few years, which is fearlessness, which is to just go for it rather than being too precious about it.
Yeah.
So I try not to rub things out, to celebrate mistakes, to see them as an opportunity, rather than always trying to arrive at something finished. So everything started when I wrote a book called Inspired. The publisher said, let's do a calligraphy book. And I said, absolutely not. There are many out there, but what I have is experience, and I have a certain way of getting people to feel. I'm actually a designer by trade, and then the calligraphy, I wove that into things, to packaging and to all sorts of things. When I was asked to do some workshops, I started doing them for calligraphy to teach how to do ABC, and then I realized that is joyless because it's such a long journey, or everyone comes at it from different points of view. So I wanted to see how people felt when they write, because we don't write anymore. Everyone says to me, oh, nobody writes anymore. Actually, we do write. We write a lot more than ever by typing and by spilling things out from our heads, but there's very little heart stuff that happens. And that's what flows through your veins when it comes out. And so rather than workshops, they're called Inksperiences, taking the idea of an experience
I
through
love
ink.
that.
A lot of them we do for brands, we do for team building, we do for marketing teams. Especially linear corporates are very interesting to me, because that's where creativity needs to come in and blossom and change up. Linear thinking with amazing, whooshy, open-mindedness.
Yeah, exactly. It is that linear thinking that you're trying to crack people out of. And when you have a fearless attitude, I also am a very fearless person. I also make mistakes and sort of look at them and see where I can learn from them. That's the thing that sets you free. That's the thing that makes success happen.
Historically, creativity has always been put to the side. You know, business, all sorts of other values have been valued literally by society.
Right.
And I feel right now, creativity, the liberation that we find, the inspiration. For me, I don't really think about what I do. By now, I allow words to come to me. I don't push them around and try to find them. You, as a creative, as you know, what is inspiration? You're trying to always interconnect with something higher than yourself.
I find that as I get older, it is harder for me to find inspiration because I feel like I've seen it all.
This is where you have to go. you have to look inwards. So for me, like you, when we're creative, we look outside and we notice things constantly, and we try and perceive things. Which
Exactly.
Is, right?
Yes.
And take from them.
Yes.
What I'm finding to get inspiration is to go inwards, because we have a universe within us that we always just put to the side. If we go inwards, then we access unknown things. While you're saying everything you've seen before, you know it.
Well, because also I'm so visual, so yes,
Brava.
it's not natural for me to go inwards and not look out, but look in.
Exactly.
All right, so I will take that away. That might be my tattoo right there.
There you go.
There you go. There's my tattoo.
Let's make
Look
it completely
inward.
yours. We'll give it an Annette-ness, shall we?
Okay. Thank you. I mean, this is so cool. That's what she teaches. You have all these people that come that really aren't necessarily artistic, that you sort of
No. Better if you're not.
help. Better if you're not.
We do
right. Better.
things-
That's so interesting because you don't bring anything to
You don't
it.
bring- well, that's what I was saying to you,
Or
that's-
expectations.
Well, exactly.
Really.
It is.
Yeah.
It's managing expectations
Yeah.
of, wait, I want to become like you, but how? You haven't had my life, and you don't have my experiences, so you can't be like me, but you can be more like you in your inner world.
What a great way for me to start my morning. Can I come every day? Like, right, you can become my guru. I need a guru bad.
Well, sometimes I get people to write with the wrong hand, so I'm a right hand. And then we're all sort of slightly shaky and a bit terrible. Wait a minute, what's going on? I'm shaky. How can I be this and this?
Oh, so interesting.
And everyone goes, but I'm really bad at this. But why? You've never gone this side of yourself, and yet it's still you. So it's much more, let's go into that, enjoy. And please find joy in having ink by the end of the day.
She's always on Instagram with her hands. She's like, look, I've been working all day, and I love that. Tell me a little bit about your evolution. How did you become this person? Like, where did you start? That's a deep question. Could be a 5-hour answer. It could be a 2-minute answer.
Well, if I tell you that I make fireworks with ink, what does that tell you? Basically, my family here in Florence has been hand-making fireworks since 1869. So I come from a family that does that in the sky.
I love that she does it. She just like does that. It looks amazing.
That's what happens from something.
I know.
It appears. So my family with this hand making of fireworks, which if you think of a firework, it is made up of stardust and compacted paper and string. And then there it sits. There's nothing happening. What you need to do for a firework to appear is to ignite it. So it needs the ignition, it needs the spark, the creative spark. What I'd love to do is I have these candles that I have, and what I do is I write a wish, and then we light a candle, and hopefully the wish goes up. So I'd like to hear what your wish is, and I can write it for you.
Well, I have so many wishes. I have to
How big is your card?
I have to really, you might need a bigger card.
Let's see what we can do.
You know, I have a very big wish, and that wish is for the world to be peaceful. That is my wish.
I completely agree.
And then everybody is okay.
Let's do this.
Yes, that is my wish. Ooh, I like got chills.
And if we light it, maybe it will be heard.
That's great, Betty.
We cast spells with
I feel like I should do it every single day. Well, you know, Betty, you know I love you so much, so I am so grateful that you let us come and film you today. And for everybody that is on Instagram, I mean, following Betty, it makes me happy all day. With her inky hands and her magical aura. I love her. So please follow Betty, and please make comments below. And if you want to do one of Betty's retreats or workshops or inspirational
everything,
you can do that. You also have people come in privately. Is that correct?
Yes.
So Betty is available. I mean, if she's not booked, and you can come into this space and you can do a session with her. I highly recommend it. This is a great start to my day. I love you, Betty.
More grounded?
I do. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
And we'll see you again soon.
Grazie, darling.